Hello, it's me James, and welcome back to another episode of Simply Survival. So this is my solo survival series where I don't use duplication glitches or any type of glitches. I just do tutorials and just basically want to show you the ways that I do stuff. Again, it might not be the best ways, it might not be the right way, however this is the ways that I do stuff, and I just want to share it with you guys. So basically, in today's episode, we're going to be flying across the End Void to get to an End City before we actually fight the Ender Dragon. But before that, if you are interested in joining a free subscriber realm called Jamarchy, feel free to hit me up on the Discord. However, if you do not have Discord, because obviously that is where the code is located, feel free to add me on any of the other social media. That is Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be happy to send you the code there. So yeah, like I was saying, today's video slash tutorial will start at 13 minutes 42 seconds. So if you just come for the tutorial, feel free to skip this video and go to there. But right now, we've got some more important things to do. I've not been on this world for so long. So obviously, I needed to feed my dog. Also, I'm pretty sure in the new beta update, these sugarcane farms are going to break. So I just want to build myself up a little bit more sugarcane than I've already got. Also, I'm going to make some more meat because we do need to prepare ourselves for going into the end. Because the thing is, we obviously do need to fight the dragon when we come back, because I don't really want to just die, do a tactical death. So we are going to have to activate the portal by killing the dragon. However, this is not going to be this episode. So again, before I did leave, I made this nice little room with all of these chests and lovely stuff in. I tidied all my stuff up because it was getting like a little bit messy. So now it's super easy to find everything, and I can just get everything done. Again, I've completely forgot how to use this. Oh, it's this button, that's right. And then we feed them from the bottom. Oh, but on the looks of things, there's actually some meat that's trapped in there. I have no idea how that's gone in there. Maybe I did it before I actually went on my break. But I have no idea. But yeah, this seems to be still working just as good as it ever did, which is super awesome. Let me see if we can get a few more cows to come out. That'd be pretty epic. Again, the only bad thing about this is you do have to wait for the baby cows to grow. But you could just like feed them wheat to like speed up that process. It is not that bad. So another major thing we need to sort out is ender chests. Before we go into the end, we need to sort out some ender chests. So I need to go to the nether to grab myself a few blaze rods, because I have none whatsoever here. Again, I completely forgot where the fortress was. 100%, I had no clue. And then I spotted these pieces of glowstone that I'd put down, which I was really thankful that I did put down, because I just started following them. And lo and behold, it actually took us to the fortress, which was super awesome. So, again, I'm not sure how many we're going to need. I want to make at least, I'd say two end chests, because, and then we can leave one at home, and we can take one with us, and then we can kit up our end chests when we're in the end, obviously. So I'm pretty sure it's this way. Again, I really don't want to die. I'll just follow. There it is. Awesome. So let's just go make our way up there. Again, we only need one blaze rod, okay? So we need one blaze rod to make ourselves 2 pieces of blaze powder, which will give us enough, obviously, to make the 2 eyes of Ender, to make 2 chests. Unless we want any more, then we are going to actually have to grab a few more end rods, so we can make more, obviously, end chests. But thinking about it now, I'm almost certain I've got some blaze powder in the end village of Simply Survival. I'm almost certain, so I'm pretty much thinking that this is pointless. However, we're here now. We're in the, just in case we haven't. But like I said, I'm pretty sure we have. Let's just grab ourselves this blaze rod. Let's try and find, we'll go for that guy because he's exposed on his own, whereas the others are just ganged up together, and that's not cool. One thing I hate, which I've got on at the minute on this sword, is knockback. It throws them so far. Some people like it. Me, I really don't like knockback, unless it's kind of like for creepers or something like that. I think it's a good enchantment for creepers. However, like stuff like this, it's really not that good. It kind of annoys me. But there we go. Hopefully we got an end rod there. Let me just have a little check. Did we get one? Fingers crossed. Yes, we did. And let me just check again. It is 2 pieces of blaze powder per one, right? And how many do you need? Yeah, so there we go. So we're going to go back, and now all we can do is grab the pieces of obsidian needed. Nice little tip, if you didn't know this, if you're mining obsidian near lava, place yourself a bucket of water, and you're never ever going to lose any of that obsidian. And most importantly, you're not going to fall into the lava and kill yourself, which, again, that's super annoying. So just while I'm mining some obsidian, obviously this could take some time. Basically, I'm trying to think of items that we need to take to the end. Now, I do want to take some rockets, because obviously when we get the elytra, if we do end up fighting the dragon, which is inevitable, that's going to be so much easier with a pair of elytra. We can just fly up to the end crystals, destroy them, fly back down. You know, it'll just make it a lot easier. So we're going to need to take in some rockets. Not only that, but I'm thinking, well, obviously, we've got to take in all the resources required to make the flying machine. And this flying machine, by the way, is super simple. It's really easy to use, and it really does require less resources than one of the ice-making flying machines, which I was going to do. Now, unfortunately, those do not work at all. I think it was a bug with the armor stand, where basically the armor stand did used to activate the ice and like make it into the ice, but now it just completely doesn't work. I've tested it, tried it, and it just does not work. So now we've got the obsidian, we can actually go ahead and get all the items required to put in our end chest. We can actually go ahead and make our end chest as well. We can leave one next to our bed, which is super good. And like I said, we're going to want to put some rockets in there. I'm thinking about 3 stacks, because I don't know how far we're actually going to travel to an end city. So maybe if we do get to an end city, we might want to fly back. I don't know. It all depends, like I say, how far we actually travel on the flying machine. Again, we can go into the super sugarcane farm. That's a pretty good name for that one. Again, it is super OP, that is. If you've not built it, go and have a look at my tutorial. And definitely worth a build. It's super OP. This is why a lot of people in the beta updates have been saying to me, this doesn't work anymore, so I'm almost certain that they're going to get rid of it in beta updates. However, there is going to be different zero-tick sugarcane farms that will work, and I will be giving you all of those tutorials if and when I need to build one. Like I said, this world is completely my solo survival world. I'm just doing things how I like to do it, and then obviously make tutorials on the way. But I have also got some awesome projects lined up for this world as well, which I'm really excited about. So I'm pretty sure we've packed everything that we need, and it is now time to actually jump in the end. First time of us going in the end. I do not know what to expect, really. But of course I forgot enough blocks to actually get across, so already we're gonna have to go in our end chest, which is not a huge deal, but it looks pretty decent. So let's just get rid of these 3 pieces of stone that we've got here. Get in the end chest, grab some of those blocks. I knew I put some blocks in there, which is super awesome. We do not want to forget our end chest. That is going to be vital for getting stuff back and forward and stuff like that. Okay, so basically now we can actually get across to the main island, and we can also start going down towards the bottom of our main island. Reason being, because I want to set up the flying machine so we don't actually hit any of the end islands when we get far enough out, because that'll be annoying and we'll just end up falling off, and we do not want to fall into the void. So I'm going to make my way down as low as physically possible. To help me out doing this, I'm actually going to use some water. It is actually so crazy how helpful a bucket of water can be. Believe me, I literally never used to carry one around, but literally, if you've noticed, I will carry one around all the time. They can come in use for literally everything. For example, the obsidian that was destroying earlier, that helps massively. Like, now we're going to go down it using obviously the stream. We're going to place some water and then go down it so we can make ourselves a little platform below the island. There's lots of other ways that water can help. Again, when you're fighting the dragon, for example, if you happen to get knocked off one of the where the end crystals are sitting on, you can actually quickly go to the water bucket, place it, and then land in the water if you're quick enough. Again, that is a little bit tricky to do, but if you've got the right technique, it does work. So, I'm on my edge of my seat doing this. It's very dangerous. We're literally just floating above the void in a waterfall, if you like. So, I'm not actually going to go too far down, purely for the fact that if I do need to lower the machine, it's that easy to make. Then I can, when I get out to the actual end islands, I can lower it around there somewhere. So I think this is going to be good for now. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to make myself a little platform. In fact, no, I am going to go down a little bit more. It's not... I think we're definitely going to bash into something, and if we do hit something, we are going to, like I say, glitch out and fall off. These machines, they're really good, but like I say, if you do hit something, you will end up dying, and it's just not good. That's not how you want it to be. So, we're going to go for this again. Again, I've got a few more blocks now. But I don't want to go too far down. But for you guys, I will try and go as low as physically possible, into the level 4, 5 sort of region. Again, if you go any lower than there, you're probably just going to end up falling into the void. But again, if you dare, just do it. Just do it. It is definitely worth it, because you'll be able to stay on your flying machine without having to move it. But I think this should be a good enough level, to be honest. We're pretty far down, so what we're going to do now is, like I said, we're going to start making our platform. All this is going to be made out of is cobblestone. Literally, you can make this out of the end stone if you really want when you're here. But again, if you do come here to fly across the end using a flying machine, please, please, please don't forget any of the resources, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to make this flying machine very shortly. So I think this should be big enough. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit more to it, because, you know, better be safe than sorry. It's always a good thing to do. And also make myself a little path up, which is again important. We can get up and down to the island. Not that I'll probably use this ever again, but just in case I do, I can just clear a little path. Where's the path that I came down on? That's a bit strange. I couldn't find that. What's going on? Right, we'll just leave that there. I don't think I'm going to go too much higher. I mean, I'll grab some more end stone, because we are going to need some blocks, and I've brought no blocks into the end with me. But as far as my other path, it's completely gone. Look, there's the platform, so we must be getting close to it, right? We must be right above the path, or underneath, sorry. Right, it doesn't really matter where that path is. I think we should just get on to building the flying machine. So, looking at that platform, I'm definitely going to add a few more bits to it. Like I said, better be safe than sorry. We don't want to fall off at all. That would be catastrophic. Again, I'm pretty sure Enderman will keep coming down here very soon as well. So, as far as resources for this flying machine, as I mentioned before, it is literally next to none. The hardest thing I'd probably say that you're going to have to get is the slime blocks. And again, if you haven't already, there's a tutorial about how to acquire slimes pretty fast on Bedrock Edition on my channel. So if you haven't seen that already, that would really help you out if you're struggling to find slimes or anything like that. So, I think we're going to go in this direction, what I'm facing now, purely for the fact that we don't want to go under the island that we're actually at. So, these are the materials that you are actually going to need for the build. Just to make it clear, let me throw a bit more. There you go. So, you're going to need 2 observers, 1 sticky piston, 1 normal piston, a couple of solid blocks, and 3, should I say, slime blocks. That is literally it. Also, bring yourself some obsidian in, because you're going to need to stop it from flying. And obsidian actually does that. It just can't be moved by pistons. So make sure you bring the obsidian in. Again, if you don't do that, I'll show you exactly what will happen, which is really not good. You don't want it to happen, but make sure you bring the obsidian. And that's it. So 1 piston, 1 sticky piston, 3 slime blocks, and 2 observers. That is literally it. So first of all, you want to get yourself a holder block, and basically you're going to want to put it in the middle of your platform. So I'm just thinking whether this is the right direction to go in, but I think, you know, we're going to go for it. So yeah, like I said, make sure you figure out what direction you do want to go in as well. That's pretty important. So again, place yourself a holder block, like I just did, and remove for some reason. Place yourself a slime block on top of that holder block, okay? This is going to be your back piece of slime. You'll know what I mean very soon. So place yourself 2 blocks. Actually, you can just remove that top block. It's not a big deal. Place a piece of slime there that can stay, and also place a sticky piston facing the backwards direction of your machine. Obviously, this will be different for you depending on what direction you're actually going. So, on top of that slime, you're going to want to place a piston facing the front of your machine, the direction it's flying in. And then we're pretty much there, believe it or not. So, here we're going to want, obviously, a piece of obsidian at the front. You do not want to forget the obsidian. If you forget the obsidian, it will just fly away. And we don't want that. We want to prevent that at all costs. So here you can just place 2 solid blocks. So that's one on top of that slime and one on top of the obsidian. You then want to put a slime block next to the 2 solid blocks. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do, I didn't mean to put that slime block there. You're completely done as far as slime blocks are concerned. Now what you're going to want to do is obviously remove any blocks near it. And you're also, above this slime block here, you're going to want an observer facing downwards like that. You can always tell which direction the observers are going in purely for the fact on the side of them they have an arrow. So if it's facing down, you've done that right. And now you're going to need another observer block at the back facing the direction that you're flying in. Okay, so all you got to do here is place a piece of a holder block and then just place it like that. You can double check by looking on the top and seeing if the arrow is pointing towards the direction you're flying in. That is literally the whole farm flying machine done. Then you can go ahead and remove your obsidian, and then of course you do want to go on top of your seat if you like. Just the 2 solid blocks is your seat. So let me get on top of those. And then just to activate this, which I managed to fail, to activate this, all you want to do is make sure you're clear of any blocks around it so you're not dragging anything along. Just place a block on top of the observer that you can see now. But before we actually take off, I want to get rid of anything that I don't need in my inventory. For example, slime blocks, stuff like that. I might even take my armor off, I'm not sure. You know what, I'm just going to leave it on. But right, so what you want to do is sit on here, crouch space, okay? Make sure you're in the middle. If you're not in the middle, this is going to happen. And yeah, you'll get pushed off, okay? And you'll just end up seeing it fly all the way. Obviously, because we didn't have the piece of obsidian, it's just flying into the distance. Now, that will stop once you it hits a chunk border, so an unloaded chunk, it will stop. So what I had to do is actually nerd pole all the way across it, make a little bridge, and we could get back on our travels towards the end again. Again, make sure you're right in the middle of those 2 blocks. Just place the block, and there we go. Already, we're on the way. We're on the way to the outer end islands, which is super awesome. That is literally the tutorial part complete. But we've still got work to do. We still need to find our end city. So I think we're going to complete this episode when we find an end city. Well, fingers crossed anyway. Fingers crossed we pick the right direction. So yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty glitchy when you're on it, but I assure you, you're safe. I've tried and tested this. This does, it's pretty reliable, to be honest with you. But what you're about to see, I left this bit in because I have no idea what actually happened. I was super wounded. Literally, the main end island goes out of sight. Soon enough, my path that I just created goes out of sight, and we're literally going into nothingness. It's actually pretty epic, you know. A good reason to actually do this, it actually prevents you, unless you're obviously going to go through the gateways, which I didn't want to do straight away. I wanted to do this, get there before we actually fought the dragon. So, yeah, reason why to do this is so you don't have to mine all the blocks and just make a huge path, which takes so long. this is just automatically going to take you there, and it's super easy to stop as well. You just want to place a piece of obsidian, which apparently I've completely forgot, in front of the build. So actually this is not that good because yeah, I forgot the obsidian. However, like I'm about to show you, something bad goes down. There you go. For some reason I got completely disconnected from the server, and when I loaded back in, which you'll hopefully see really fastly there. So yeah, when I loaded back in, I went down to simply survival, join the realm. It actually completely backed up. I have no idea why it did this, whether it was some kind of bug or glitch, maybe my internet went down, I have no idea. Either way, it backed me up right before I made the machine. So as soon as we entered the end, that was the backup, like it gave me luck. So we just came in and we was right in the end. We'd not even bridged across yet to the main island. Oh, I was a little bit annoyed, to say the least, but like the legend that I am, we don't give up, you know. Jam Fam never gives up. So basically, I did make a new flying machine, and I actually got out to the end island. Doing all that and having the setbacks that I did, it did take some time, and like I said, now what you're looking at is that I actually had to move my machine down because I was almost certain that my flying machine was gonna hit the end islands, and we don't want that. Like I said, if it hits, we are gonna fall off and we are gonna die. So as you can see, the different two platforms that you can see there, that's where I moved it down to, and we're right down low. As you can see, I'm on level 5 now. I'm standing on level 5. And I'm pretty sure at this level, never actually hit an island, which again, that's a big no-no. And of course, I suppose it backing up then wasn't all that bad. I was able to get my obsidian, which obviously helps you stop the machine. However, I mean, I suppose you could just somehow like quickly path up to an island. I don't know. I mean, it is possible. But you do want to make sure you've got that obsidian. So that is literally it for today's video. I would have liked to get to an end city, but like I said, I had a few setbacks which really annoyed me, to be honest with you. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe with that notification bell on, and I will catch you on the next one.